It's alright.
Oh my god! Yo guys, what is up? Max on Borderlands 3 video, and today we're talking about who is the best Vault Hunter in Borderlands 3. Now, Borderlands has been out for a few years now, and the characters have fluctuated so much in their power, and today we're going to be talking about who is the best right now, but also taking a look back and see how these characters have changed over the year. We'll be doing a little linear graph to show how the characters have changed throughout the years at major events. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you find it informative. Once again, all these characters are viable. You can use all of them at endgame, but I think it's really interesting to talk about their overall strength as the years have gone on. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's do this. All right, let's get into this graph. And on the y-axis, we have strength, and I know strength isn't a direct measure. We're going to be basing this on both boss clear speed and mobbing speed, and kind of congealing them together into strength. All right, and we've also got on the x-axis a lot of major events that influence these characters' strength. For example, Flak getting nerfed when the game first launched, the Maliwan takedown coming out and adding things like the driver class mod and the antifreeze, the driver nerf, DLC 1 being added, adding the Seeing Dead, Stackbot getting fixed, Mayhem 2.0, Mayhem scaling being added, extra projectile nerfs, 4th skill tree being added, White Elephant getting nerfed, and then our current sandbox where these characters lie now. Now you'll note on our graph we only have Flak and Amara. We're going to talk about these two first, who are our number 4 and number 3 spot first, and then we'll get into Zane and Mose. So to start us off, we have Amara. Now, Amara, when the game first came out, was all right. But when the Maliwan takedown came out and the driver class mod was added, and we got our first ASE elements added on to shield and grenade, and Amara discovered fake grasping with pre-nerf driver, she was an absolute monster. It spiked her power up an incredible amount, one of the strongest Vault Hunters ever been. And then when the driver got nerfed, it hurt her a lot. Driver got nerfed, mindfulness got nerfed. She was still much better than she was before, but that took a big hit. Now, as time went on, Amara saw some little bits of drops. She was very strong for a very long time, but when Mayhem scaling got added, honestly, there should be a little bit of a spike because she got some spikes from her melee damage and Mayhem scaling, but the extra projectile nerf was just a few bits after. Extra projectile nerf definitely hurt Amara. That was really bad, and also came with it the end of fake grasping, which hurt like Flak and Amara both, but it definitely hurt Amara more. Amara gets a nice little bump when the 4th skill tree came out. 4th skill tree was incredible for Amara. It had expedite working, and that expedite didn't work, but expedite is now currently fixed. We got a little drop again when the White Elephant and Game Breaker were nerfed, and Amara's revelation damage was also nerfed. Amara could like one-shot any boss in the game as long as there was 2 targets if she was wearing even just white gear. And then in our current sandbox, we've got the Blade Fury, we've got Guardian Angel, we've got Fish Labs, we've got Unleash the Dragon. Lots of cool things for Amara, and she's very solid. And I did a literal like question on YouTube about who plays what character and what's the most played character, and I do think Amara is the weakest Vault Hunter, but she is still my most played, and like 24% of the Borderlands population's most played character. So just because she's quote unquote the 4th best does not mean that she's not viable, does not mean she cannot do the content in the game. All right, next up is Flak, the 3rd best Vault Hunter. And once again, I know my art skills aren't the best, like not everything is perfectly up and down, but I just want to give you guys a general idea of where these characters started and where they are now. Now, Flak is probably one of the most consistent characters that we've seen, always been a very, very solid choice. Flak, in my opinion, was the strongest Vault Hunter at launch and got a little bit of a nerf. It wasn't super great for Flak with the nerf that happened, and a lot of us didn't know it at the time. Some of us did, but Flak had a lot of skills that weren't working properly. Health regen, a bunch of other things just didn't really work. And over time, those skills all got fixed and Flak just got stronger and stronger. Now, DLC 1 added the Stackbot class mod, which was potentially really good for Flak, but did not work because, like, if your pet dotted things, there were so many things that broke the stack bot, which is now one of Flak's best class mods. When that thing got fixed, Flak saw huge increases. Extra projectile nerf and mayhem scaling weren't too impactful for Flak's actual damage. All good things, well, besides the extra projectile nerf, but Flak didn't need that. It did hurt, like, for example, like the reflux or brainstormer builds, but nothing too much. Force skill tree is Flak's one of the only fourth tree or hunters that didn't really see too much of a bump during the fourth skill trees. White elephants getting nerfed didn't really hurt Flak. In our current sandbox, Flak got the Guardian Angel, the Stinger Shield, and I would say that Flak is now the best user of, like, alternative damage that is opposed to guns. Flak's incredible with guns, but with the Guardian Angel, there's so many options that Flak can use to do ridiculous amounts of alternative damage, and Flak has always been one of the fastest speedrunners for any content in the game. Really, really strong throughout history, is always basically, for most of the part, beaten Amara in terms of speedruns, besides when the driver was added and initially broken. So that is where I put Flak as the third best Vault Hunter. All right, next up we have Moze. Now, Moze started out the game very strong. In fact, Moze was, I would say, the second strongest Vault Hunter at launch. She did experience a little bit of a nerf when the Hex grenades got nerfed, and that stopped some of the infinite Hex spam that was going on. But overall, she started out really well. Maybe she took a little dip around Flak's nerf time, and then Mallow Takedown came out. Moze saw some nice improvements from the Mallow Takedown. Mainly the Kibsworth was great for her, and she was a strong pick for the Mallow Takedown because of Iron Bear. DLC 1 and driver nerf didn't really change much. She got a little bit of a bump, maybe from, like, the Ion Cannon coming out. She's chilling. Boom, Mayhem 2.0 comes out. Now, Mayhem 2.0 originally did not have scaling for action skills and things like that, and Moze felt pretty bad to use when it initially came out. I'll get to the Mayhem scaling in a second, but Iron Bear not doing anything, a lot of other things not helping, were just not great. So Moze, during this time when Mayhem 2.0 first came out, not feeling so great. And then, boom, Mayhem scaling happened, and Moze received some of the most absurd damage that we've ever seen in the game. Skag Den plus Short Fuse. Short Fuse is single-handedly the strongest skill in a Borderlands game ever in terms of its mayhem scaling, and even before its mayhem scaling, it's double dipping. It allows Moze to one-shot anything in the game. There genuinely isn't anything in the game with enough health to survive Short Fuse, and then it only got better for her because she got the 4th skill tree, which was insane. The 4th skill tree added things so that Moze no longer needed to jump into Iron Bear. Her gameplay got better. She got big surplus to add even more ridiculous incinder damage. She got more cooldown. She got more cryo damage. She got upkeep with the flare, and the flare just increased her damage even more. It was such a big spike for Moze. Since then, nothing too crazy. Things like the Revolter, the Guardian Angel, all good things for Moze, but nothing like too crazy for her. And we're gonna put Moze up there. Moze started out a little bit weaker and has risen to one of the absolute top Vault Hunters in the entire game. We do have to rank Zane, though, next, which is going to get very interesting. And last but certainly not least is Zane. Now, Zane launched in a horrible state. A lot of Zane's skills weren't working, and yes, you could make Zane work and play fine at Mayhem 3 when the game first came out, but by far and away, I think Zane was the worst Vault Hunter. Then the Mallow Takedown came out. The Mallow Takedown added the Redistributor, which was great for Zane, but Zane still didn't have the Seeing Dead class mod and was still putting up really slow times for the Mallow Takedown. The Mallow Takedown also did add the Antifreeze class mod, which to this day is one of Zane's best bossing class mods. So that was great. So Zane was seeing some big peaks there, and then launching up for DLC 1, where the Seeing Dead was added, which really changed the game for Zane. Zane had extra projectiles, the seeing dead, the redistributor, and infinite barrier. And Zane was really, really good then. Still not peak Zane, but very, very good. Zane, as things progressed, took a little bit of a dip around Mayhem 2.0 when it came out, just because Clone didn't scale initially. So Clone, as one of Zane's about to be best bossing sources, was not great. And then Mayhem scaling was added. Clone started doing crazy damage, and people started doing lazy kills with Clone, where Clone was doing nuts things. Then extra projectiles happened. Nothing really nerfed there. And then the Force skill tree was added. This is where Zane really took off. Zane had uncapped commitment, stacking up. People were stacking like over 50 stacks of commitment. I don't know what the record was. I think people got over 100 stacks of commitment. It wasn't super needed, but commitment, eraser, easy V2 as a capstone, crit damage. It just everything Zane like could have ever wanted. Plus the freaking cannon. The cannon was so crazy, especially in a meta where Amara, Flax, like everyone's ASCs were nerfed because Amara can no longer fake grasp, and all of a sudden Zane can do the whole fake grasping thing better than any character because he's got infinite cannon spam, plus like all the ridiculous things that the anoints then were like ridiculously strong, so it's even better for Zane. And I think at that point Zane was the best Vault Hunter in the game. Now, the crazy shenanigans with Hustler, Eraser hadn't been quite discovered yet, but they were available in the game. And as Zane continues in today's current sandbox, commitment did nerf. Zane took a little bit of a dip from commitment. I think not nearly as much as people really put it out to be, because Zane was just fine and is still very much fine. But as it stands right now, I place Zane higher than Moze as our #1 Vault Hunter in today's meta, today's current sandbox, and probably how Borderlands 3 is going to last for the next few years, because I don't see many patches happening. And that is because, and I'm going to explain this, because I did a poll, and the majority of people that I polled, over like 1,000 votes, voted for Moze and put Moze as the top Vault Hunter. And Moze has the best single target damage at a single instance. Short fuse is broken. It's the best skill in the game. And Moze can one-shot every boss that is one-shottable. There isn't any bosses that Moze can one-shot that Zane can't, though. Zane can do the exact, not as much damage as Moze, but enough to one-shot every boss. Plus, Zane's got better survivability with barrier. He's got better mobbing and better clear speed. Zane, for basically all content, with his movement speed, clear speed, and survivability, just has better times than Moze when it comes to like doing a fast Guardian takedown or doing a fast Maliwan takedown. Zane's Hustler, Eraser interaction, double dipping into splash radius, splash damage, and so many other things is so strong, and one of the most busted things we've seen in the game. It is ridiculous clear speed, and Zane can do all this clear speed and damage while staying alive. I think Zane and Moze are very close. And if you were just talking about transitioning from like story into endgame, Iron Bear exists. Iron Bear is broken. You need absolutely no gear to make Iron Bear and Moze good. Moze can do a Maliwan takedown with like a single class mod, right? Flak doesn't really need that much gear either to do content. But when we're talking about, and in this graph we're talking about endgame, Zane is just a different beast, geared up. And I wanted to focus on endgame. So yes, I think Zane and Moze are very close. You could interchange them. If there was a boss in the game that wiped you if you didn't one-shot it and had 1 trillion health, yes, Moze would probably be the best Vault Hunter, but there simply isn't really a reason, and I know this is weird coming from me, for Moze to be dealing all that damage when nothing can survive it anyways. Zane can one-shot the things that Moze can, and has the movement speed, survivability, and clear speed that Moze can sometimes lack, and so that is why I put Zane at the #1 spot. I hope you guys found this video informative. Yes, I know this graph is not great. I just wanted to talk about these Vault Hunters over the years and how they've changed, and give you guys kind of an overall representation. I know this point should have been a little bit higher, and this might have been a little bit lower, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found something new from this video, and let me know what you think. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace. I was putting in the